Hello there. Now last weekend I picked up this Bosch DAB FM radio from a car boot sale. It was only £1, but the power adapter cable is broken. So in this video I'm going to show you how I went about repairing it. Okay, so the first thing we're going to need to do is open it up so we can repair it. Now looking at this, it looks as though it's been apart before because I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's residue of glue around the seam, and I can actually see that it's almost there. So I'm going to use this old knife and work along that seam to open it. Now if you're dealing with one that hasn't been opened before, then one method that I've found successful in the past is to put it on a block of wood on a solid surface and take a small hammer, something like this, and give it a good rap on the seam. And you usually find that it's just enough to crack the joint and they pop apart, and that's probably how this one was opened by the look of it. Or you could use a Dremel or similar device with a wheel in, a cutting wheel, and work your way around it. I mean, it's up to you how you open it really, but so anyway, there it is, it's open. There's our cable. So we'll need to identify first of all, with this being DC, which is the live and negative, and you'll see that the cable, well in my case anyway, one has a white stripe down it and one is a solid cable. So if we just take our meter, obviously I've got a break here so I can't meter it right the way through, but let's just rip that off anyway and just bear them for a second and we'll find out which one's which. So if we put one of our probes in the centre, right, the positive, the centre pin, is the one with the stripe down, so that has to go to the positive side when we come to solder it back on. So we'll now unsolder these, remembering that the one with the stripe on is this one on this outside here. So let's get that unsoldered. Right, there's the hose clear. So I'll put that to one side for a minute. Now we're going to need to use this cable relief, strain relief. So what I generally do is I pull the cable out with a pair of long nose pliers, something like that. And then once I've got it to that state where we're just dealing with the insulation of the old cable. So once you've got the cable out, you run a drill through the hole, through the centre, to take out any remaining bits of insulation. Now it can be tricky to do but what you're looking for is a hole, something like that. And it's important that you hold the strain relief as straight as you can when you're running the drill through. But once you get it to that stage, if you take your cable and tin your ends, give a bit of flux on them first. I will just stick a bit of solder on them. Like that. Now, what we want to do now is thread these through our strain relief. So this can be tricky, but once you get them started and you get them as straight as you possibly can, you will get them through. And there we go, they're through. So all that's left to do now is to solder them back onto our board. Now remembering which was the plus and negative. In fact, if we look at this board and I just take some of this white rubbery sort of stuff off, we'll probably see that this could be marked. It is, it's marked. If you can see, there's a little plus there indicating that side is the positive. Now, I'm not saying that the supply you're working on will be marked, so I would obviously check before you go any further, just in case it's not marked. So that one goes that side, and the one with the white line on goes that side. Now then, all that's left now is to stick a bit of solder on them. Like so. And that looks okay. Could just give that a bit of a clean off with some alcohol. So all that's left to do now is reassemble it. So it's just a case of popping that back in, taking our cable round, and then popping our strain relief back into its little recess. Like that. And then basically we're going to be gluing the top back into position. Now my choice of glue for this is going to be Araldite. I shall mix some Araldite up and glue that back in, and that should be okay. Okay, so there it is, glued back together. Now what I suggest you do is just drop a little bit of super glue on the entry point to the gland there. You could do it on the inside as well before you glued it if you wanted. We'll just plug this in and make sure that it is indeed working. that should be negative on that side, and that should be positive. And there we have it, 6.16 volts, so that's okay. So that's how you can repair your power adapters, should you get one that's in a poor state. Now, going back to the glands, the stress release gland, you can buy them if you wanted to replace it rather than drill through the centre of it, but to be perfectly honest, for me it wasn't cost effective to do, so that's why I chose to do it the way I've done it. But it's up to you how you do it at the end of the day, but that's just my way of doing it anyway. Anyway, I hope this has been some help to you. Many thanks for watching. I hope to catch you in the next one.